Star Trek, Star Wars, Jurassic World, Harry Potter. I mean, you guys, it goes on and on and on with how many times Hollywood is ruining everything. And surprised to say, you guys, how Clarence Thomas is a major influence as to why I'm doing what I'm doing with the new channel. I am so sick of people ruining what it is that I love. It's really, I've had it up to here. I've had it up to here. It's insane at this point. Don't you guys feel the same way?
Yeah. Archie's briefings. Story Lab. Let's talk about it.
All right, you guys, welcome to the podcast of Archie's Briefings. I'm your host, Arshel Branch. Of course, take the time to subscribe to this new channel, Archie's Story Labs. Definitely subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that way you guys are always up to date when episodes are being released. That's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays because your girl has a day job and only podcast twice a week. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, Arshel, in your open, what the heck does Clarence Thomas have to do with Star Trek and Star Wars and Jurassic World? And Loki, is this really only about sci-fi? So let me just answer those questions. One, no, it's not just about science fiction. The last episode that I posted on this channel, you guys, was about the movie trailers, okay? Like, this is not even just about science fiction or fantasy. Really, this is just at this point, why does Hollywood not get it? And how does Clarence Thomas fit in that? So he just gave a speech at the University of Texas, you guys. And not only that, but he did a Q&A as well. And I'm going to speak to you guys particularly about an answer he gave to a question at the Q&A portion of this visit to the University of Texas. Now, his speech was remarkable. It's exceptional. Like, I don't even understand how any American, especially if you are a Black American, is just not completely in awe of this man's intellect, his story, how he got to where he is today. I mean, it's just, he's a very impressive gentleman, very impressive American. And as an American, I am quite proud to be one, especially when I see someone like him, just how much his grandfather inspired him, how much his upbringing influences how he does his job. And really, what really stood out to me the most, you guys, and this is particularly in the Q&A. The speech is amazing. You guys should definitely watch it. It's so great. It should be studied. That's how amazing the speech was, his lecture, if you would. But that Q&A, there was a particular question that an audience member, that one of the students had asked him. And now it was through the person asking the questions, the interviewer, right? He was asking the questions on behalf of many of the students from different departments of the school. And this one particular question, it was about trusting the institutions. And what does Justice Thomas think should happen if we're going to rebuild trust within the institutions? And his answer, you guys, was so remarkable. Of course it was. He's a very impressive, intelligent man, that it made me think, you know what? That's exactly what I want to do with this new channel. Now, he didn't give me the idea to create this new channel. If anything, I would say it was more to G. Edward Griffin's inspiration and conversations with family members, particularly my twin sister. I'm saying family members. My twin sister, who is the owner and founder of the Afane studio, the America First AI studio. Together, we are creating AI narrative series. I'm doing the soap opera Life Through a Lens based off of the conflict between Candace Owens and Erica Kirk. She's creating an entire superhero universe that is the Calvary. I recommend you guys check out the Afane Studio YouTube channel and just, check out everything that we're doing over there. It's just really incredible. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun. And that's exactly what it is. It was from doing that project and listening to people like G. Edward Griffin, where this is what I want to do. Not so much fight the fight that G. Edward is in, although that is important to talk about, just not today's episode, but more so that I want to be able to lay my head down at night knowing that I did everything that I could in the industry and in the fight that I want to be in. And I've said in previous videos on the former channel or this channel, depending on where you're watching this right now, that I want to make sure that I can feel good about what it is that I'm making and creating. And I'm an artist. I've said several times in previous videos. Again, if you're on that older channel, then you know. If you're new to this channel, or if you're a new viewer of mine as Arshel Branch, then you guys wouldn't know. My training is in entertainment. I have studied writing, acting, directing for over a decade. And because of the COVID shutdowns and the just almost incestuous relationship within Hollywood and Broadway, it just seemed like it was almost impossible to make it, if you would, right? Like, I was just never going to get a story of mine on a Broadway stage, even off Broadway. I was never going to get one of my movies in the theaters. I was never going to be able to create the artwork that I wanted to make and bring in front of an audience, whether live performances or via the screen. I was just never going to have that happen. Mind you, you guys, I had produced a short film that aired in, New York City television. Okay. I had produced and produced a variety show with my twin sister, with a comedian, with a singer, sold tickets because that was what I used to do, sell Broadway tickets. So I knew how to sell tickets and promote it. I was nominated for best playwright out of a series of different short plays. You write what you know. I wrote about a particular incident between family members. Hilarious. My parents thought it was too funny, and I did very well. And I was nominated for best play. Didn't win, but you know what they say. It was an honor to be nominated. But low key for the first nomination, that was pretty amazing. I am a writer. I've had strangers tell me how amazing my writing is, and this is not about being braggadocious. This is I know what I'm here to do. I am a modern bard, if you would. Okay. I see things, I witness things, I observe things, and it, gets the brain going. It makes you think. And I want to apply my beliefs, my values, the way I think into these stories. And it's incredible how you listen to minds of different, you know, conflicts, of different battles. With G. Griffin, it's the financial industry and not even just financial industry, but more so to the monetary system. We'll speak about that in other episodes. With Clarence Thomas, it's with the law and the Constitution. But really, to that, the spirit of the answer that he gave you guys was not just about becoming, politicians running for office. It's specifically to, if you see a problem in an institution, in my case, it's the entertainment industry, then you should take up responsibility, take up some ownership, and do something about it. Don't sit on the sidelines. Don't just say, whoa, oh, woe is me. Don't just say they're messing things up. Actually participate and contribute. So before I go any further, guys, let me go ahead and show you guys that clip of Clarence Thomas at the University of Texas, particularly in that Q&A back and forth. I'm not back and forth. He's answering a question. And it's really just this one part. It's not going to be that long. It's just this one part. And I want you guys to see why I think he's kind of right and why it's inspired me to do what I'm doing with this channel. Well, at least why I think it's more, not so much inspiring me to do this, but why I know that what I'm doing is the right thing to do for me. So let me go ahead and let's run that clip now, shall we? All right, you guys. So this is it here, the Q&A with Clarence Thomas. He gave a lecture at the University of Texas a few days ago, and this is just the follow-up, the Q&A that this gentleman here, his name is escaping me at the moment, was asking a series of questions that were given to him by the students that attend different departments of the university itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it play from this particular portion because, again, this is the part that stood out to me the most and why I decided to do what I'm doing with the Archie Story Lab. Okay, so let me just go ahead and let's run it, okay?
I think that unless people, and I meant what I said, I do not. It took the speech even. It takes a lot of work for me because I want to say what I actually think.
Right.
And I think if we don't stand up and take ownership of our country and take responsible for it, we are slowly letting others control how we think and what we think. I think the beauty of going to school is that you learn how to think for yourselves. You develop the discipline to think things through. And if you think it's losing confidence, then you get up and you participate. Right. You don't sit on the sidelines. You think that the state is being run and inconsistent with how you feel, then you get up and you participate. You prepare yourself. If you think that the medical profession is not right, well, you become a doctor or be a medical person and you deal with that. I think we need to take ownership of our country. It's our country. It is not on automatic pilot. People know more about how to program their cell phone than they know about their participating in their government.
Okay, before I let it go on, let me just say that line right there, people know more about their cell phone than how their government or even how the country functions. I mean, it's insane. Loki, I remember an individual who said, no, I'd sooner buy a new phone. If I lost my phone or my phone broke, I'd sooner buy a new phone before I paid the rent. It's like, yo, we buying phones but not paying bills? Like what? Like what sense does that make? Like it's insane. The priorities of the American people. It's just we have to take control and ownership over the things that we do, and some things are more important than the darn cell phone. Like that line is everything.
they read more. Who I don't know who reads all these notices when you have to update your stuff, but they probably do.
Word.
I mean, the Constitution is that thing. You could sit down over a cup of coffee and read the entire thing. How many people have read it?
Word.
How many people know why those provisions are
Okay,
there?
so really, that's all. I'm not going to go any further because I mean, it's just a great conversation. This is a very impressive gentleman right here. I don't know how any American, especially if you are a Black American, could just not be enamored by this man's intellect. He spoke so eloquently at the University of Texas on his position, particularly as it relates to progressivism, which is just another form of collectivism. We've talked about that in the other channel of what I do, but essentially the idea that we as Americans have to take responsibility. If there's something going on in an industry that you think is something you want to be a part of, then go out there and make it happen. And as I said earlier in this episode, and what I'll continue to say moving forward with this channel and with this podcast, is for me, that's the entertainment industry. There's a lot wrong with it. We've seen the videos, there are those channels that, watch so we don't have to. I'm not that channel. I've said that before. I will continue to say it however many times it needs to be said. Keep watching those individuals. But essentially, that entertainers today have, well, lost the narrative. Okay. Literally have lost the narrative. They are losing to the couch and they don't understand why. And I'm sick and tired of just being one of these people who say, you're ruining Star Trek. You're ruining the Middle Earth franchise. You're ruining Harry Potter. You're ruining, and just not actually doing something about it when I am a narrative writer. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come out of this. Okay. We're going to continue the conversation. All right, you guys. So you saw that clip. You heard that clip. Clarence Thomas, incredibly impressive. Like I said, at least twice now. I don't know how no Black person can be impressed by this man. I mean, I'm proud to be American when you listen to someone like him. He just loves his country. He's like one of us, right? He's not elitist. And for the position he has as a Supreme Court justice, he views himself as a fellow American. He's one of the people. He has a responsibility to himself as well as the other American citizens because we're all in this together in a sense. Like, I mean, you get that from his speech, you get that from his Q&A. He's just one of the everyday folk and he doesn't see himself as larger than life. This is a job. I have an obligation. I have a responsibility and I simply met the demand and the standard of what it means to be in this position. And that's all he was encouraging others to do. If you see a problem in an industry that you are in, address that problem. Do something about it. Don't just sit on the sidelines. And now, how does that, mean anything to what I'm doing with Archie Story Labs? What am I doing moving forward? So before I say anything else, let me start by saying this. I've created the Substack for what I'm doing here. So there's a YouTube and there's also a Substack called Archie's Story Lab. This is where you guys, I'm going to be putting out my stories in public. I'll be releasing my short stories part at a time. You can look forward to seeing the first part of my very first short story. Well, public short story, I should say more accurately, that I'm going to be releasing today, actually. You'll get the cover. I'm thinking about releasing cover art with it as well. I'm releasing part by part. So you guys can, read slowly, but then you can give me feedback. Tell me what you think the story should go or where you think the story can go from there. But really working out my own way of thinking, my own philosophy into these stories, the inspiration behind these stories we discuss here on YouTube, right? In this podcast of Archie's Briefings. You'll get that there as well. But essentially, I don't like how people view science fiction, and I don't like how people are putting out narratives, and I don't like how Hollywood doesn't get what the audience is trying to tell them. The couch is winning because I can watch everything that I love without being lectured at, without being told there's something wrong with me for being an America First conservative Christian, a Christian America First conservative geek. Okay. I'm tired of being lectured at. If you're not going to do it, then I don't got to wait for somebody else to do it because I can do it myself. I have the means to get it done. I have the opportunity to get it done. So I'm going to get it done. Yes, a girl would like to turn this into a business that's making money. Of course, who doesn't, right? But essentially, I have a job. It pays my bills. I'm grateful to have it. Proud waitress hostess over here, okay? It does what it's supposed to do. But I get to use some of those earnings that I get from my day job to invest into the artwork And I'm tired of just being the commentator. You want to see me talk about the problems with the Bonnet Babes and the Bonnet Chronicles? It's because there's a story about it. We'll talk about that in other episodes, okay? Because I got some ideas, you guys, and it's going to be exciting. This time, with what I'm doing with Archie's Story Lab, it is exciting. Clarence Thomas said, take up the responsibility, take up the ownership. If there is something wrong in the industry that want to do something about, go ahead and do something about it. Otherwise, you're just throwing a temper tantrum. He actually says that in his answer. I just fast forwarded that part because low key, we just want to get to the meat of what he's saying and not piss anybody off and not trigger anybody. But low key, he ain't wrong. Okay. I know we're talking about Clarence Thomas and I'm using Ebonics. Excuse the ain'ts. Okay. Excuse the ain'ts. Okay. And the likes and the ums, these are verbal buffers. Okay. But ultimately, see what I just did there? Verbal buffers. Okay. Just forgive those. Essentially, you guys, I'm tired of just saying how horrible Hollywood is. I'm tired of pointing the finger and saying they're not getting it, they're not getting it, they're not getting it. And on top of that, I'm also sick and tired of getting in front of this camera and speaking to the issues of collectivism and it not being associated with any of the writing that I've done or want to do. I believe that filmmaking and stage plays and this type of content, that kind of work is about the collective art form. You get to work with other people and sit in a room with people who, though may not agree with everything that you're about, have a passion for the artistry, that want to come together to produce something incredible. And I find that when you build in public and people are sharing their views and their opinions, it's not just about saying whether they like it or don't like it, agree with the view or disagree with my views. It's more so, where do you think the story could go from here? How does your thinking impact the decisions you're making with these characters that you're creating? Why do these stories mean so much, right? Like how we tell stories mean so much. Why Pan to the Window is no longer socially acceptable because everybody wants the graphic sex scene. I mean, my goodness, these are the ways stories are made, the way stories were crafted, and how they impacted our society. And what do I intend to do about solving that problem? It's not just about talking anymore. Something has to be done about it. And if Star Trek ain't going to fix itself, then I got to do something. It may not be Star Trek, of course. We got to wait for that to get into public domain, which may not be for another 80 years. We have no idea. I have no idea. I'm not even doing the math. But I can create my own sci-fi with the short story that I'm going to be releasing today, A Daughter of Two Worlds. So look out, head over to the Substack. The link to the Substack is in the description box, you guys. Again, the Substack is called Archie's Story Lab, okay? You will get access, obviously, to the podcast there as well, the short clips there as well. But really, this is about displaying the actual artwork. What you get with Archie's briefings moving forward, you guys, is going to be me taking deep dives into the very things that I want to tell stories about. Like I said earlier, I am a modern bard. Okay. I see what I see. I take what I get out of it and I want to put it in a story, whether it's an op-ed, a short story, or maybe a longer project like a musical or a play, maybe even a screenplay. It might even be a teleseries. Who knows? With AI, I can make a lot of things happen. Stage plays, obviously, not with AI, but you know what I mean. I can make it happen. And I don't have to sit here and wait for Hollywood or a Broadway producer to tell me that I can make it happen. It may not be the best, but in public, I can at least put out the stories that I want to see, and I get to be a part of that. And that's incredible. Clarence Thomas was wrong. If you see a problem, participate. Don't just whine about it, okay? Don't just whine about it. This is more than just knowing about how your cell phones work. Prioritizing the things that don't even matter. Stop throwing temper tantrums, pick up some responsibility here and do something about it. For me, it's the entertainment industry. I studied for over a decade, okay? I have awards and certificates that acknowledge how good of a writer I am, okay? Like, this is insane. I know I'm good at this. And this, again, is not about being braggadocious. I know you know. You think LeBron James don't know he's a badass basketball player? Excuse my French. You think Saquon Barkley don't know that he's a great football player? The man is jumping over players backwards. Jedi mind tricks, my goodness. The Giants were stupid. Side note, so stupid. Okay, do you think A-Rod didn't know that he was a great baseball player? Like, seriously? Like, this is not about being braggadocious. This is, I know what I'm good at. I know what I was put here to do. I know what my purpose is. And Clarence Thomas pretty much said, if this is your purpose, and there's a problem in the industry that would allow you to live out your purpose, then use your God-given talent, take up some responsibility, and solve that problem. So, Mr. Justice Thomas, Thank you for just verifying and validating why I'm starting over and why I'm doing what I'm doing with Archie's Story Labs. You guys get in the comment section to let me know what you think about all of this. Again, subscribe to the channel of Archie's Story Lab if you haven't already. Get into the comment section to let me know what do you think about what Clarence Thomas had to say. And not even just that, but what is your purpose? What do you think is an industry that you think is a problem and you would like to see something change about it? Like, let's have that conversation, you guys. And as far as moving forward with the kind of entertainment that I want to put out there, let me know what stories would you like to see? Because sci-fi and fantasy is taking a major turn for the worst, and I intend to do something about that. And if you head over to my Substack, again, the link is in the description box. You guys will get part 1 of my short story, A Daughter of Two Worlds, a science fiction. And you guys, I think, are going to love it. Okay, you're going to see the cover work. It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited about this. So head over to the Substack, subscribe there. It's all free subscriptions. Okay, you can subscribe here for free, subscribe there for free. This is really just about engaging in conversation and building in public. So let me know in the comments section, subscribe, get in the comments, share this video, like this video. And I'm so grateful to be doing this. Thank you again, Mr. Clarence Thomas, because I definitely needed to hear that. I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. God bless. And because it's me, Kepler, Star Trek phrase.